Hi, my name is Brianna Brown, and for my midterm project, I will be teaching you about the program Mural. To get to Mural, you can go to your browser and type in mural.co, and it's mural.co. When you first get there, you'll see this, and you can do this program for free, so you can start now free, and if you click on that, then you just type in your information, like your email and your name, and it'll set it up for you. I already have an account, so I'm just going to click on sign in. So when you first get to this home screen, you're going to see murals that you've started working on, or you can create a new mural. So it shows you some different templates based on what you are trying to do in your classroom, or if you're using this with older students, what you're trying to teach them or have them work on. I usually just go to blank mural for my students and then click on create mural. So there's lots of great tools with this program. One that I really like is the sticky notes, and that's how students can contribute to the conversation. They can all choose their different size sticky notes, their different colors. If you have a small group, maybe you want to assign students with their own sticky note colors so you can always see who's contributing to the conversation and where. You can also create your own shapes. So maybe you want something to just be in a triangle shape, and that's where the students are going to type for certain responses, and that's where they're going to add their sticky notes. This is for icons that maybe you want your students to give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down on things. I do a lot of thumbs up, thumbs down interactions in the classroom. So this feature is great for when I'm doing distance learning days, and my students can do the same interactions of, if you did some assignment, give me a thumbs up, and they can still do that same thing, and you're still incorporating those things that you do inside the classroom onto the computer. Over here, if you click on this little square with the 4 boxes, it shows you some other various layouts that you might want to use. This one I like because it shows the students kind of where they are in maybe their planning stage of a project, or just, their own organizational piece. And then if you click this little back, it takes that away. This is also great because you can import images from the internet, and I can show how I did that in a mural in just a second. But basically you can type in anything and it's going to bring up all sorts of images that then you can drag and drop, or the students can also drag and drop. So maybe you ask them to choose. I talk a lot about, putting on our author's hat and what does your author's hat look like. So maybe they want to choose their own author's hat and to respond to a question. And I know that, Jimmy is responding to the question because I can see his author's hat. And then this is where you can add your own things that you've saved. And then this is where you can import other things from your own computer. So maybe you've created something with a Word document, or your own family pictures, and you can import this. The students can import this. Maybe you're talking about families one week and you want all the students to show what their family looks like and how all families are different, and they could import a picture of their family and why it's special to them. So then the great thing about Mural is it's such a big workspace, which I really like. So if you want your students to really focus on one part of a lesson, you can use this little tool over here, and this is your Zoom. and it shows where you are on your workspace. So right now we are looking at this little square, and I can see it with this little yellow highlighted spot. And I can zoom in further, or I can zoom out to see where I am, all together. And then if you just take your two fingers and you drag them on your mouse, you can move around and see the other spots that you are working. And again, it shows it right down here that you can see I'm looking at this big space and I'm looking at the space in the yellow. So everywhere that I'm looking is going to show up in this yellow box. So then there's some great tools up here as well. So you can have a chat box, which I really like because my students can ask me questions in the chat box, but it's not interrupting our conversation or what we're doing on the mural. So we can still interact without it showing up here where we might be adding our sticky notes and creating confusion for other students. And this shows what I've done so far on here. So it shows, what I've put on here, what I've deleted. And then you can also save this, which I really like too, because, sometimes what your students are doing, on a distance learning day or even in your classroom on the computer, maybe it's something so incredible that you want to print out and hang up in the classroom for, another reference throughout a lesson, or to show other staff members at a professional development. So this is great because then you can export it as a PDF or a PNG image, and you can show it at those different meetings or in the classroom. So these two features are ones that are great and I think really make Mural unique. This is a timer, so you can set a timer for different activities, and the students can see the timer on their screens, and when it's done counting down, then they know that that activity is over with or that they need to be wrapping it up. And I think that's great because I know in my specific classroom, we use a lot of timers as reminders of, when we're going to transition to the next activity. And I know other teachers do that as well, or they use, different doorbell sounds or bells. So this is great because it incorporates those same things into your classroom onto the computer. And then this feature is actually my favorite feature and one that I love to use. So you can do voting sessions on Mural, which is so cool. So all you do is you can create, whatever you want your students to vote on. So if you want to, given that it's almost Halloween time and students are excited for candy, you can say, what kind of candy do you like better? And then I can go right over to my images and I can type in some different candies. So maybe Starburst. And I'm going to add that picture on and I'm going to put it down below. And maybe Jolly Ranchers. We'll stick with the peanut-free candy. That way all my students can vote and feel like they are incorporated in the voting session. So you can put it right there. And then when you click on your start voting session, it's going to pull this up and you can name your voting session. So I'm going to say favorite candy. And then you can select how many votes each of your students gets. So maybe if you have more options, you want to have more votes, or maybe you just want them all to have one vote. And then you click on any member of this mural and next. and then you click the begin voting, and they will receive something on their screen that says a voting session has started. And so then when they click, they can see how many votes they have left. So right now I have 1 vote left and I'm the only one voting. And I'm going to vote. And I can see where my little pink dot has shown up. And then the teacher can end the voting session and you get the final results. So our votes are in and the one person voting chose Jolly Ranchers. So I have started creating my own mural, and this is kind of what it looks like. So I did the voting session, and then I can see that I have other boxes over here with different things. So one thing is, are you going trick-or-treating? And so then this is when my students can use their sticky notes and they can respond to my question. So maybe they say yes, and then they can move their sticky notes over to my question. And then I did another one where I said, what are you going to be for Halloween? So this is when my students can go and they can search for an image. And add it into our mural for everyone to see. So this feature is really great because the whole mural can be used for children as young as 1st grade that I teach, or it can be used in high school where kids are collaborating and working on things together. And it's really user friendly and I really enjoy using it, and so do my students. Thank you for working on this with me.